Metroid on the NES. This series has its classic roots in the Nintendo Entertainment System. Samus started here, and there was a huge spoiler at the end that Samus, the main character of this game, was a girl, is a girl. And that was phenomenal back then. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know, Samus was a girl. And that was huge back then. Nintendo really didn't do things like that. You're always just trying to save a princess with Nintendo games. And this is a great platformer, action-adventure, sci-fi adventure game. You'll have a ton of fun with this. A lot of hours, a lot of gameplay. And you go around as Samus Aran, and the whole objective of the game is to defeat the Metroid. You're a bounty hunter, and get to Mother Brain, and then escape from the planet. And I did play this growing up as a kid. I played it at a neighbor's house. I was a little bit younger, and I thought this game was super hard. I wanted to play Mario. I wanted to play Zelda. But this game stuck with me. I remember the enemies. I remember the music. I remembered Samus. So I did want to come back to it. When Super Metroid came out, that's kind of when I played this game again. And then I played it again as an adult. Now, I am more familiar with the Prime series. I played through Prime 1 and 2, but not 3. But this is still a good game, and I did make it pretty far into this. I have not beaten it. That's probably something I need to do as a gamer to check off my list, but I still love this game. Now, let's talk about the graphics, the controls, the music, the sound effects, and if this is a worthy addition on the NES Classic Edition. So the graphics, they're pretty basic. This is an early game that came out in '86. You're going to have a lot of black backgrounds here, so not a whole lot of color, kind of drab, if you will, but that's the whole point of Metroid. That's the whole point of this game, is to be a little gloomy, to be a little doomy, if you will. And I also think they did it to save some memory in the game. You got to remember back then that games had very limited space on those actual cartridges. So if you see games like this with not a whole lot of color, or the backgrounds aren't completely filled in, well, they're doing it to save space. And Metroid is a huge game. The map is huge, and it goes on. Now, the soundtrack and the sound effects, I think the sound effects fit the game really well. The shooting effects, the enemy effects, and just perfect. When you open the door, that's classic. That's classic Metroid. Also, the soundtrack is so good. It makes me want to play Smash Brothers. It makes me want to pop in Melee on the GameCube. It makes me want to play Smash Brothers Brawl, Smash 4, you name it. It's so good. It's so classic. Now, I do prefer Super Metroid, the soundtrack, to this, but still, it's good. It's good. And the controls are okay. You can't shoot in a diagonal way, but you can still shoot up and down. And you see Samus can get into her morph ball, and eventually you'll get bombs and other weapons and upgrades, which is nice. That's always a cool thing in Metroid that I've always loved, is all the upgrades you get, all the new weapons, the suits. I love it. Now, you also can unlock Zero Suit Samus in this game, which is pretty cool too. Let's also just talk about, does this game belong on the NES Classic Edition? Yes, absolutely. This is Nintendo through and through. And back in the early days of the NES, they wanted to diversify with their games. So they had Mario, which was kind of a linear type of game and kind of a shorter type of game, and then you got Zelda, and then another example of exploring and a deeper gameplay is Metroid. So yes, you need to play. There's hours of fun to be had in this game. You're going to love the exploration. If you played Super Metroid, you're going to need to play this game. At least try to make it through. Metroid Fusion is probably my favorite of the classic Metroids, but this is pretty good. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. So yes, I think it does belong on the NES Classic Edition. You could play this on the NES. It's widely available. There was actually 2 releases of it. At the beginning of this video, you saw the box art for the re-release that came out in 1992. I actually prefer that box art, that label, than the original. But hey, I have both. What can I say? And you can also play this on Metroid Zero Mission, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's unlockable. And you can also get it on the 3DS store, the virtual shop. And you used to be able to get it off of WiiWare and all that, but that's been shut down. Now, I think that this will be out. Nintendo is going to have some sort of online service, and they are promising classic games. I'm sure this will be on there. There's monthly games with the subscription. I'm sure this will be on there with Mario, Mario 3, Zelda, you name it. So let me know what you guys think of Metroid. What's your favorite Metroid game? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the 3D ones or the 2D ones like this? Or both? Do you think that there will be a Metroid Prime sequel coming out soon? Also, what do you think of the 3DS game that came out recently? That's going to be it, guys. And again, subscribe to me if you have not. It's going to put you in the running for an NES Classic Edition from me. Just subscribe. That's all you got to do, guys. I'm going to do a drawing at the end of the month just to give away. Well, enjoy the rest of this footage. And let me know what your favorite Metroid memory is. Were you there before everyone knew Samus was a girl? Did you discover that Samus was a girl before it became wide knowledge? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.